side, Team Spirit on the Dire, Elimination Dota, an opportunity to compete against VP for a slot at DreamLeague. Let's get into it. With me, I like the Spirit draft but for one slightly different reason, right? I just feel from the games we've been seeing more and more, it's become clear that that while Wind Ranger is still a very good carry, the actual S tier carries are Luna and Morphling. And I just feel like this Luna hero has just become insane. With the backup of the Zombie Knight, that's probably why they're even happy to pick the Tiny instead of Invoker, right? They're like, well, do we actually need to buff Luna that much? No, she's strong enough by herself.
I think I would even rank the Wind Ranger higher than the Morphling Luna. The thing is that people still haven't found ways to play versus the Morphling and the Luna. For me, the Wind Ranger is a hero that can solo win the game. For Luna and the Morphling, a lot of things need to come together. It's just that naturally, currently in the meta, with all the drafts that are being played, they look pretty good. Though, once the melee carries start coming back into the meta, once people start understanding how to implement them more, the Wind Ranger is probably going to be doing better than these two.
On that, I agree. Yeah, once that starts to happen, I agree with that.
So I'd say her numbers are, better. That she is scaled up more than the Luna and the Morphling, just naturally because the Blade Mail is popular. As the hero is not as great.
Unfortunately for her, she's unlikely to witness a Blade Mail in this game. We have a 2-2 Bounty Rune trade. No early shenanigans from either of these teams. So they are aware of the stakes, aware of the pressure, and now we are going to be getting into it. Talk to me about this mid lane. Puck versus the Tiny here. We did see a Tiny yesterday absolutely working the Puck. Is that going to end up happening again in this game?
He works him for the first two levels. As soon as you get level 2 orb on the Puck, things start changing for the better for him, and then ultimately you might even come out ahead of the Tiny. But I would assume that around the 6-minute mark they're close to even, that the Tiny will get some advantage early, and Puck in the next couple of levels will be slowly getting that back to himself.
Lala especially has a lot to prove for himself after how the last few days have been going in this lane. Top lane, going on to 1J here. They dropped a blood grenade on him. They're chasing him. They should be able to find him. First blood claimed by Miboshka.
Yeah,
got the Hammer of Purity out, man. That was the good read on that situation to try and aggressively pursue that kill.
Yeah, some of these position 4s are just way too squishy, and you need to be very, very careful about how you approach it. And also, Omni Knight, he also has the healing hammer, right? So yeah. I thought that he just stayed close to the Dark Willow for a very long period of time, but it's that he wants to survive longer, and this is a good facet for the laning stage.
Tanking a little bit of damage from L1ga right now, but he's gonna be okay. He's chilling.
Yeah, you're fine. You have a big ass hammer and very strong armor, so you're okay.
One lane we haven't looked at just yet is the other side of the map. Let's take a quick peek here at Violence, just farming away on this young Wind Ranger, but the way Malik is playing this with the bow is how I anticipate him playing it. You block the wave, you pull the wave, you block the camps, you keep this Naga Siren away from you with this bow slow, and so far it's working out. Managed to get to his one, only had to jowl through a couple tangos, finding a ton of CS in the lane. Feeling very good right now in this bottom side for Malik.
Okay, so it's only Team Spirit that are experiencing lag. As far as I know, they should be in Serbia. I don't know if they brought new players as well. We have pretty decent internet here, so I hope everything is gonna be okay.
We had some of these spikes yesterday, but they did end up solving themselves. I will say as well, earlier on during the draft, my game completely disconnected, and I had to reconnect again. So. Looks like some of this game is still in beta. You gotta understand, you can't expect the servers to be working all the time.
Makes sense. I agree with that one. It still needs a decade or two to be released.
Top lane 1J, I think he's gonna be released from life here, but Boshka could not catch up. At least he does have a point right now into the Shadow Realm, so it becomes a little bit more difficult for them to make that play, but he comes close for the Brambles. This could be dangerous. Shadow Realm is now triggered off, but Satanic held the Lucent Beam, so it's still available. He throws it out now onto 1J. EEU trying to get this chase. The Firestorm damage though, putting pressure onto the Omni. He's been baited in. Blood Grenade slows him up. Can they find this kill? He's trying to juke, he's trying to jive, but 1J finds him. Oh no, Purification! He finds him, but he doesn't have the damage to kill him. And EEU showing off some of the skills that made him win TI 2 times in separate occasions.
It was so lucky there. The passive Stout Shield that all the melee heroes have got proc there. If the damage went through, he dies. I thought the Dark Willow was going to get him 100%.
Comes out okay. Gets to keep farming on the Satanic. I am a bit worried now for Laurel. You were mentioning by 6 minutes they should be even. I'm sure like in the first 4 levels they shouldn't be even now, right, for the puck.
Yeah, he should be still slightly ahead, but yeah, it's Laurel. He really hasn't been laning too well. He has been focusing on other parts of the map, of the game. So hopefully he's gonna be able to redeem himself as the game goes on.
Let's see, Waterrune bottom 1 is gonna go the way of the puck, and 1J was nearby. I think he can still come and make sure that this is not available for Laurel. So this is a bit problematic. He's eaten quite a lot of harass here from the puck. He does not have the regen to sustain himself. Might have to, he does have a Fairy Fire and a Tangle, but this is not feeling good for Laurel.
Yeah, Tiny has so much HP. Oh, nice dodge of the cookie.
Violent.
He's still
gonna get hit with the Blood Grenade though, so he gets chased down by Malik. Beastmaster Snapfire, man. We've seen this many times and it never feels good to play against. Getting a kill onto the Wind Ranger, amazing start for this bottom lane.
Yep, they're getting everything they want. At least they're not stacking, so they're just focusing on the lane, so that's a good thing for Liga. But as soon as the mid laners start rotating and start threatening, I think the Snapfire is going to be focusing more on stacks.
Now they're maybe gonna actually be able to kill the Snapfire. Aru will end up dead, but Alta Siren died first, and now the Hawk diving in onto this Wind Ranger. Violence about to die again. Holy based, Malik surviving throughout all of it. He's the one that's gonna gain so much experience. And that's also a TP Wind Ranger, so he has to walk back to the lane right now.
Yeah, lucky for him, the nighttime did come, so you're gonna have the extra movement speed, but you know, that is if you want to be positive in a situation where there's not much to be positive about. At least this game we're not gonna be seeing Satanic have 10 times the net worth of everybody else because he just crushes them, but overall he might just be over farming this Wind Ranger by a lot at the 10-minute mark.
Speaking of top lane, Satanic trying to play aggressively here to kill off 1J. They want the Dark Willow and they are gonna find her. One more hit, that's all they need. Satanic has the Glaives bouncing around but couldn't find the angle for the Lucent Beam. 1J, now it's his turn to juke himself away from danger. Draws in EEU, they kill off this Omni. And very nicely done by Liga.
Very good line of sight usage from the Dark Willow. When I saw Satanic lifting his arms, the animation was halfway through, and then he just moves behind the tree. It does save his life barely.
Oh,
Puck is here. Tiny as well.
Though. Yeah, they want to find these kills. Bottom, it's rotation time, baby. But Tiny is not really confident about making the direct inroad. The Puck, neither is she, so everybody knows what's up. Everybody's aware of what's going down. Lol, though, still thinking about coming back in. There's a Fire Snap cookie to use for mobility. But they're gonna really dive onto this Wind Ranger. They haven't caught the clearest vision of him just yet, but they ping him out now. They saw him. The Sea Dragon betrayed him, but they're still going in. Puck now returning, still has an AD rune. The Fire Snap cookie will come out, hoping to save the Beastmaster, but with the Dream Coil, damage out. No, it's not enough! They got him! That crash landing damage, he did not expect it on the Puck. It came back too soon, waiting rift, not high enough levels, and he ends up dead. And now they can still wrap around, potentially surround Violent. Lol desperately looking for the angle. Unable to find it, but still very happy to get the Puck kill.
No TP on the Puck, and they're aware of it because he TP'd it to the bottom lane. So that's why they were trying to force the issue a little bit more, right? He would come back to life and he wouldn't be able to assist his teammates.
Malik almost dies yet again. Gonna be forced into buying a healing salve. This guy has just absorbed so much damage from Liga team without taking a tumble, making them pay for it every single time.
Yep, and this all happened with Liga having perfect vision of the Tiny, right? They just overestimated themselves because of the AD rune. Plus, now they lose a hero on the top lane as well. Spirit are looking clean. The only downside of this team comes out from Lara's laning stage, but if he practices that a bit, they're looking just as scary as the old Spirit.
Really good stuff coming in from this lineup right now. Satanic top of the network charts, Beastmaster right behind him. Not a game I want to play into Drums of Slump Beastmaster, I tell you that.
Yeah, you don't have burst. That's the problem, right? All of your damage is kind of AoE teamfighty, apart from maybe the Bedlam. Even the Whirlwind isn't, you know, your classic focus fire, so killing the Beastmaster is going to be very, very rough. I'm expecting a pipe right after this, and then good luck taking him out.
Well, Liga, it's going to be up to them to make the right map movements, and they're bringing down the Mirage Puck once again. Didn't work out last time, and unfortunately he's walking right underneath an observer ward. Rue has scouted him, and instead of running away from him, they're running in towards him. They want the kill onto the puck. They have the Primal Roar ready again, so if he shows in a bad position, he will die.
If you get the Avalanche, and the Roar follow-up will take him out.
Okay, they're bringing in the Underlord though, so they're going to try and force this engagement. Malik doesn't want to commit the Roar onto anybody else but the puck. Dream Coil will come out. Primal Roar is ready. He throws it in onto the Underlord instead. He does end up dead here. Lol, can he find vision for the counterplay? They're looking in towards the Underlord. The Underlord survives barely, but they're turning their attention now to the north because they want the kill onto the Luna. With Violence having triggered out this Whirlwind, it's enough damage to bring down Miposhka, but now he doesn't have spells left anymore. They're going in on top of him. Lol is still here. They commit the Eclipse. Satanic never shy to commit the ultimate from the Luna, and they claim this Wind Ranger's life and potentially some pressure on the tier 1 tower.
They're just using the Luna's vision really, really well, right? Because Liga won that fight, and the only reason why it ended up going well for Team Spirit is because they could re-engage, they could see what was going on with the Luna, just staying away. That ward that has been scouting the Tiny's movements, it helps Liga understand how to engage, when to engage when the Tiny is going back, and they get 2 kills from that. But then Team Spirit use their own vision, plus the Luna, and they get something in return.
Oh boy, tier 1 tower gone in a game where your Wind Ranger is already struggling a little bit, and it's a Beastmaster no less that took it, who is now halfway towards having Aghanim Scepter. Satanic most of the way towards having the Yasha too, so this is, well, fortunately for Liga, I believe that Team Spirit should be spending the next portion of the game just farming. You know, finishing the Blink on Tiny, more items on the Luna. So maybe you have time to get your key items as well.
They should have it. Overall, this game is still anybody's to claim. I'd say Spirit might have a bit of an advantage, especially with the Beastmaster already taking that bottom tower. What people want to do is pressure the bottom lane. That's why you saw the puck coming in so much, so that you can invade the Ancients of the Beastmaster of the Luna. Unfortunately, now without your tier 1, that is going to be next to impossible.
Were some support heroes smoked up from Team Spirit, but this looked like more of a vision gathering information. And now they smoke up on Liga. They want to put pressure back onto this Beastmaster, but unfortunately, look at this. They smoke underneath the Observer Ward. So Malik should know that this is coming. And indeed, he starts to play a lot more safely. Retreats, backs off. He will break the smoke, sees it now. They're going to still hard commit on top of him. Coming in underneath the tier 1 tower. They even bring the Underlord for this one. And he should end up dead. It takes a little while though. But the Bedlam eventually claims him with the Sonic Wave. Oh, the Morty's Kisses comes in, but unfortunately the Song of the Siren will cancel that out. 1J is in the corner waiting with the Terrorize, but Laurel comes in as well. Didn't have enough damage to kill Panto just yet. He gets silenced as they try to escape with this puck. Mirage just wants to relieve before the Luna arrives, and she was mid-animation for the Lucid Beam. She gets tossed forward though. They get on top of this puck. Do they have the vision? They see him. Lucent Beam will finally be coming out. No, the silence from the Waning Rift canceling that out, but he cannot escape forever. Eventually the silence ends, the Avalanche comes out, and they will find the kill onto the puck. And they also managed to get the catch onto 1J. He was going for a mission to take away some vision, maybe claim a rune or something. I don't know why he was this far up, but he ends up dead to Malik.
Malik coming back to life after being taken out. So Team Spirit, they probably talked about how they were going to respond to Liga and their smoke, but they probably needed the Omni Knight there beforehand. And Malik was baiting, he thought he couldn't die. He forgot that the Underlord has this global presence, and when you're surrounded by 5 heroes, you can be as tanky as you like. Well, at the most points of the game, you are 99% going down.
Still, they at least were able to get the puck life back, and they didn't lose any of the HP on their tier 1 tower.
Yeah, it's not bad for Spirit. It's not bad, just that when you know that the enemies are coming, usually you expect it to be a perfect fight for you. If the Omni Knight was in position just to repel this Beastmaster and he leaves the cold, then you would have the roar in that fight, and you would probably get even more without losing a single thing.
Speaking of said Omni, him and 1J, they're around each other, but Omni doesn't know. There's some very nice vision that's been laid out. They might try to go on top of him. They see him now, but they want Underlord first because here comes Laurel TPing to the top lane. Easy pick up onto this Underlord. He's gonna try his best, you know. Ends up popping the mech, but it's not really gonna make a difference. At the same time, a solo kill did end up happening. Bedlam gets dropped down onto Rue, and there's no way for that Snapfire to survive that.
That's weird, right? Snapfire, usually you have the cookie, you have the scatter blast, you get yourself away, you slow down the Dark Willow, you survive. So I'm quite surprised that he managed to catch us with 2 brambles. He got him in 2 brambles. That has to be a cookie usage mistake.
That is unfortunate.
It happens, it happens. You got a bigger hero, so overall, Spirit are not gonna be too mad.
So this game right now is still very even in the gold department. Kills, not that much of a difference between the 2 squads. We still have most of the tier 1s available. It's only tier 1 tower bottom that's broken down. Who's happier with the overall game stage right now?
Well, in the next 2 minutes we're gonna find out, because Laurel now finally has the Blink Dagger, and depending on what he manages to do with it, then we can say who's really happy about the current state of the game. Laurel did show himself in the mid lane without the Blink Dagger, but I think it's gonna be fairly obvious to Liga that it's coming.
Just keeping it in the trees right behind. They're gonna smoke up as they deliver it. And now they are en route, heading to the top side of the map. They have Underlord there, and 1J's Dark Willow. And 1J, he understands the assignment, trying to break some smokes, put his life on the line. It's not gonna end up happening because they take the much longer wrap, but not gonna find any Liga heroes in this side of the map either.
They see the bottom lane shoved in. I wouldn't hate if they went for the Twin Gate, but it seems that they are more inclined to take this tier 1 rather than go to the bottom lane and get a bigger kill.
1J gives up his life for the cause. He tells the Underlord, bro, go to the triangle. I'll show in lane. Let's see what these guys are up to. Does get killed for it, but definitely expected that to happen.
If that wasn't a 15-minute siege creep, they would have definitely went to the Twin Gate trying to kill the Wind Ranger, but because the siege creep was coming, you understand that pushing the tower and going for that is probably the best course of action. Plus, they're going to be stealing some Ancients.
Get some Ancients grabbed in for Satanic. In the meantime, they were at least able to grab the tier 1 tower middle. Mirage picked that up for Liga. So, still staying relatively close, but unfortunately this does complete a full Manta style for Luna. She's on the way towards BKB. This is a Wind Ranger that I don't think is fully ready to fight just yet. She also wants her BKB before she feels strong.
Even the BKB and the Gleipnir are kind of needed. Sure, with the BKB you're going to be able to fight, but mostly defensively you're not going to be chasing people down. What Spirit are doing right now is they let that mid lane tower go because they knew that their timing was coming. The Manta on the Luna, it's still nighttime, and you get the Aegis on the Beastmaster. Now it's time for them to just go aggressively onto the enemy side of the map in hopes of securing the mid lane tower before the nighttime ends.
All comes middle. Not showing just yet. The Naga illusions did scout him a little bit. And that is why Panto is sitting very carefully. And they bring in Mirage as well. They're thinking about making this go, but it is underneath a tier 2 tower, full HP tiny. I don't know about this one.
The idea here is, you know how when Ember Spirits take down the mid lane tower and then they always stay very close to the enemy tier 2 just because they know that they can easily escape? The Puck and the Naga are doing the same. The thing is that the Puck is not as... He is as elusive, or he's as speedy, but not as elusive as the as the Ember Spirit, so he needs some kind of insurance to be there. That's why both of them are there together, and then Puck is just shoving out the wave. The thing is, I think when you know about the Aegis, about the Luna timings and everything, that as this Puck, you want to give the tower up anyways, and then hope that during the daytime, once you have your blink, you're going to be going forward, giving your life away in the mid lane, and not having that blink dagger, let's say when the daytime strikes, would straight up be a disaster. So that's why now they're moving away.
3 minutes away from daytime, you should be able to find 600 gold in that time period. Have his blink available for a bigger fight. And, you know, dodge this Aegis as much as you can. This is a Drums of Slump, Blink Dagger, Occult Bracelets, whatever. I want to see what he gets at tier 2, neutral item. But this Beastmaster is no joke. They need to find a way to just avoid him at all costs.
He got a blink knowing that he was gonna get the Roche, right? After that push on the top lane, after he knew about it, he just committed onto the blink dagger, and now he will be going for a pipe. Overall, if the game wasn't going this well for Team Spirit, he probably would have thought about the pipe before the blink dagger. It's all about circumstances in the game.
Buying pipe on an offlaner is the equivalent of when you have to buy BKB first or early on a carry. The better your game, the later the item comes out. Mid lane, we have a small skirmish taking place here as they go on to Laurel. The repel will protect him from this pit of malice. Not gonna get caught in. Ensnared though, it comes in after the repel duration has ended. They drag him back, but here comes Malik, finding the primal roll onto Violent, and he gets bailed out. Song of the Siren committed now, but here's Morty's Kisses raining in, as well as a Luna showing up. The Naga Siren gets caught by the Avalanche, she's gonna die. And the rest of Liga team have no option but to flee in the face of Satanic showing up to this fight as well.
That was such an obvious bait coming out from Laurel. You know, he could have blinked out any time. And Liga are still bringing heroes running in on the tanky as the guy. They really did get hooked there by Team Spirit. I guess it's just that they overestimated their ability to defend that mid lane tower. It was quite obvious that it is not in their power currently to fight around there. Maybe with a spike of the Underlord they could have done it, but they didn't have it at the time.
That fight as well also shows us the power of Naga Siren. Without Panto being in this game, there's a strong likelihood that they get like at least 3 or 4 kills. But Panto doing his thing. Sadly, Panto about to die as he's running into the worst target in the game. It's a Luna.
Still alive.
She is going to be chasing against them. No BKB available, and now they're coming in onto Satanic. Satanic doesn't have a BKB nor an Aegis, so does need some help here. Miposhka, we need you, brother, but he can't find the angle for the repel. You can't get to him in time. Still, Luna alive for now, does receive purification, but will eventually fall. Malik, though, in the meantime, putting pressure onto Violence, forcing the Wind Ranger to run away from the fight. But still, Puck able to close in onto Laurel. They've gotten the Tiny, and now Pit of Malice out onto Malik, this Beastmaster. He's going to get caught out as well. It is an Aegis that goes down, but he is very much surrounded at this point in time. And look at this Puck doing the wise thing, searching for the outskirts, trying to find where the Omni Knight is, preventing the heals. Mirage playing so well, and now also reaching the Dream Coil out onto Rue. Illugio forward, that should be a kill. 4 heroes, technically 5, will end up going down. Yeah, they lose Violence in the end, but hashtag word for Liga team.
I think this is the one weakness of Satanic as a player. It is that when he sees that an enemy has survived, he chases. You know, like new people when they start playing Dota and they see, oh, I just need one more hit, but you're not getting in, my dude. You are not close to be able to get that right click, and that is what happened there with the Naga Siren. Now he got baited by himself, basically, because that in general wouldn't have been a bad fight for Team Spirit if they had more of their heroes together, but he just wanted a pick off and then to secure the area, so nobody else was even looking towards it. And once he didn't get it instantly, he started chasing, and the rest of his team just thought, okay, we have to bail this guy out. The ending is you lose 4 heroes.
I must say, for me, the best part about how they outplayed him there is how well Mirage as well as Panto did with keeping him away from the Omni. That was the main objective. Like, as long as Miposhka is not nearby, we will be Gucci. And they did such a fantastic job just peeling him away from his team, forcing him to overcommit afterwards. Now, the advantage in gold that Team Spirit had has erupted. There's no Aegis in their favor. They're able to just pick up this young Tommy for themselves on Liga team. Life is starting to look up right now, fam.
Yeah, the shard, right? The best possible one. Because if you look at Spirit, they have a decent amount of AoE damage, right? A lot of your heroes are going to be dropping down. You see the Eclipse being used, the Avalanche Initiation, instantly you go for the sleep, and you reset the fight completely. That's two big spells that Team Spirit are just not going to have, that won't be having much of an impact.
Do have a smoke move coming in right now by Liga. I believe Team Spirit did scout this out with the wards that they have. But Laurel, nope, he's still in the worst position ever. He gets blinked onto the other side, but there is still an ensnare to bring him back. Roshka nearby does have the repel if need be, but they're also leveraging the strength of this Underlord, bringing him in. Shackle shot from Violent connecting onto Malik. He gets the repel right now to get him out of here. As they drop these Morty's Kisses, which will be cancelled by the Song of Panto yet again. He also finds the Beastmaster and the Omni Knight. Terrorize goes in. It doesn't connect onto Omni. Only onto Beast. Beastmaster though, able to get off the primal roll. They turn onto Nagasai and they kill her. Eclipse running wild from Satanic, but the BKB of Violent is protecting him. Whirlwind damage, way too much for these Spirit heroes. And they have to get themselves out of here. They do manage to kill Mirage at the very end with one or more glaive bounce coming in from Satanic. So it's 2 for 2, but it's 2 cores in favor of a core and a support.
Yeah, not bad for Liga, especially because they were the ones on the aggressive. The thing is, the sleep is a little bit of a longer cooldown than everything else, right? So Spirit are gonna have time to go in, and of course it is still daytime. In 2.5 minutes is when Spirit are gonna start playing a little bit more aggressively, and when they will have more potency inside of the fights, just because of the Luna vision.
Luna did have to commit the BKB in that situation, so we're down to 8 seconds. And for Liga, that's the best case scenario. Ruin this BKB, force her to use it as often as humanly possible. And she's not going for any defensive items thereafter. We're not seeing like some Satanic build-up after a butterfly. We're going straight Kanda here for the bigger burst and the magical damage.
I'm surprised. I'd like to see a butterfly. Maybe it's gonna come out after the Kanda. Because overall in this game, you have the Omni to heal you. You have the repel. You can stand forward. If the Wind Ranger isn't killing you, nobody is.
Well, Wind Ranger is killing someone, and that time around it's Snapfire. Rue goes down, practically 600 gold away from the full Sleipnir. Wind Ranger looking solid for herself, and she's been catching up. She had a pretty tough start to the game, given how well this Beastmaster lane went. But as time has been going on, these engagements have been going favorably. She's now 4-4-4, fourth in the net worth departments, and I mean, very far behind the Luna, yes, but not an insurmountable lead, as we've sometimes seen these Linas pull over other carriers.
I don't know how he does it, Satanic. Sure, he's the fastest farmer in this game, but he is almost 5k gold ahead of the enemy carry. And, you know, it would be fine if we see this every third, fourth, fifth game from him, but every single game, he's just so far ahead of everybody else. The guy's looking clean and consistent, and this is gonna be one scary player in the next couple of years.
Right now, Liga team heroes all stacked up together in the jungle. Are they looking for a smoke? What's the intention here from them? Or they probably perceive Team Spirit as smoking into them, given that Roshan is coming back very shortly.
Yep. The idea is just for Team Spirit to wait the nighttime and go towards the Roche pit. You can even bait a fight there. The only dangerous thing is the Naga Siren, but if you get a deep ward out and save your scans, which we can see that Spirit are not using at the moment, then you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be able to recognize from which angle the enemies are coming and just come out and meet them out in the open field.
Big man gonna be up in 10 seconds. It will be a dire side Roche. Team Spirit smoke up instantly at the 25-minute mark. They're coming in for this fight. We just picked up the Omni Knight Solar Crest, so we've got that shine going for the Luna. And they're gonna find this Underlord first. Laurel needs to be the initiator, and he gets on top of him, repositions him towards the rest of the team. And they even drop Morty's Kisses for this one. I suppose if you're the Snapfire, you're like, well, if I use this spell in a team fight, it gets cancelled every time anyway by the song. So might as well commit it for the pick-off.
The Snapfire probably just fancies the Underlord. He's a handsome fella, so just wanted to get the smooches in. This is what we talked about.
Ranger.
He saw
Violent. Oh, they saw him. They got the vision out. Leipnir will be there. He has BKB, but knows that BKB TP is not a realistic option here. 6 seconds until the Blink Dagger. Beastmaster, did he get him? No. He's out. And he wastes a lot of time. Dragging all of these heroes towards here does mean that now Underlord will be back in time for the Roshan engagement.
Look at the puck in the Dark Willow, right? What did they do? They shoved in all the waves. The thing is, you might have to continue doing this for the next 4 minutes as well, because, well, during this nighttime, Spirit will be looking to secure themselves a Roche.
Spirit are gonna commit. Have everybody with Laurel, top lane. Satanic can port himself over to this outpost, so can Malik. Satanic is just gonna walk in. Might be too late though, because the fight's already breaking out. They went in with the Bedlam, hit of Malice, thrown in. It only connects onto the Snapfire. The real fight though is going back in onto where Miposhka is, because the Army Knight is now dead. Laurel, all of a sudden surrounded by Liga heroes, should end up dead as well. Did his best with the Avalanche, but unable to do much. And now the song! Panto, he caught Malik and Satanic. Mirage still has Dream Coil at the ready if he needs to use it. Committed onto the Luna. Primal Roar will come in onto Violence. They have the right click damage from this Luna. She's chasing the Wind Ranger. One more right click will do the trick. Or maybe even a Lucid Beam. Vision is lost, but finally regained. And they will find that kill. However, while that was happening, Malik was getting run over by these Liga heroes. So it's a 3-4-1 exchange for now. Satanic still feeling very strong. He wants to go forward here, put some pressure onto these heroes. I don't know about the wisdom of this one, as now he's caught inside of a Pit of Malice. Mirage wants to close in on top of him. The Illusion Orb doesn't connect, so we don't get that damage out. Satanic turning onto Nagasai definitely wants that kill. Not going to be granted it, and instead will end up dead. 70 seconds in the grave. Does have buyback if needed, but it ends up being a disaster of a fight. An actual full team wipe in favor of Liga.
Yeah, the Luna went to deal with the mid-wave, and they got scared that Liga could take the Roche. So the rest of the team started running in, mainly the Omni Knight and the Tiny. The thing is, that is your two very important heroes, right? Omni Knight in the defensive way, and the Tiny repositioning, initiation, whatever you want, chaos creating in a fight. So them two get found out, taken out in the fight. Also, what ended up happening there, Omni Knight needed to repel himself. He had the Curse Crown on him, and he ran into a Tiny, who obviously didn't have a repel. So Omni didn't get stunned up by the Tiny did, and then you stay in the vicinity to try to protect him, and you lose two very important, if not the most important heroes for the team fight. And now Tiny caught again, nobody to save him.
Yep, it's just a straight up pick off by Liga. He's all by his lonesome. This Observer Ward, baby. Brother Scriff knows what's up. Dude, look at the coverage. They got double wards down. And it's actually, normally I would complain about the distance to each other, but it's actually not a bad thing. They can scout every movement that Spirit want to make to try and assail this Roshan.
Yeah, and look at Spirit. They've committed 3 wards to that top part of the map. This was their timing that Liga did manage to offset completely, right? You have those 3 wards. The one on the right is the one that secured that they get the kill on the Wind Ranger. She thought that she was out, and then just through the trees, he didn't get Lucent Beam. So overall, even Spirit's vision did grant them something in those fights, but now you have vision on the top side of the map that is going to be overtaken by the opponents. Your nighttime is coming to an end. You're 3k goal behind. Liga are the ones in control of this game.
They're 3k gold ahead for Liga, but the Luna is still 4k up on everybody.
Yeah.
Satanic, man, what a player.
And Miposhka is just poor. I mean, not in real life. He won 2 TIs, but he's poor in this one.
Absolutely no money available for this Omni. No, not just poor, he's underleveled. All of these Radiant heroes, all these Dire heroes are underleveled. 13 on the Omni, 14 on the Snap, 15. Bro, this Tiny is the same level as a Naga Siren. He just got his level 16 right now.
Yeah, that's what happens. You were ahead and you start losing fights, and the gold lead might not look like it's a problem, but the experience will look pretty bad, because Liga heroes mostly surviving in these fights, getting all of the experience from the overfarmed heroes of Spirit, and now when you're ahead, the experience is going to be looking much worse, right?
Can we fight until we have Lol's BKB?
Yes. Team Spirit can fight, but they don't want to before they get an MKB, which is going to be done in 150 gold on Satanic. Because he's taking way too long to kill the Wind Ranger, and Liga, that's the only hero that is killable that they are sending forward. So, yeah, Laurel can go and toss the hero back, and if he dies, not the biggest of deals. Plus, farming his BKB is next to impossible. He just doesn't have where.
Root gonna draw in the Dream Coil from Mirage. And 2 seconds until Glimmer Cape. Can he survive that long? No, he cannot. If he'd actually swapped in his wand, 13 1 charges, if he had that instead of the Observer Ward, I think he lives it.
There is a gem on the puck, so no.
I mean, you pop the wand, then you just TP out. Will Puck kill you before that?
His TP got cancelled by the coil, so he tried to TP out.
Oh, his TP got cancelled. Okay.
Yep.
Earlier TP. Okay, then you're dead. Sorry, bro.
yeah. We're trying to find ways where you could have maybe survived, but your destiny was predetermined already.
I thought like Puck just Dream Coiled him, just heads up, but unfortunate, unluck. We do now get in the shot for this Omni Knight, so the double purification. I guess you put the double purification onto Laurel as he jumps in, and then, I mean, it kind of sucks as Luna that you have to buy a BKB in a game that has Omni Knight anyway. Feels bad.
A lot of carries nowadays need to do it, right? We've seen already a couple of fights where they have been able to zone out the Omni Knight, and underfarmed Omni Knight who cannot afford the Blink Dagger is a problem. And overall, when you're behind right now, your cores are not going to be doing enough damage that the enemies constantly need to be running away so that the Omni Knight can get into a better position.
So just picked up an Aghanim Scepter for this Wind Ranger right now. So much superior output of damage. This MKB, thankfully for the Luna, is available, but now this Luna is pretty much the only tool you have of dealing with this Wind Ranger. She has BKB Wind Run going. What are you supposed to do unless with Luna? And now they're actually coming in with the gate. They're looking towards Malik. Pop BKB to escape away from the Dream Coil, but this item will not last forever. He does get the final roll onto Underlord, and with Morty's kisses, they're able to get that kill. They also find Wind Ranger with the Avalanche toss coming in. Now though, what further setup is there? Mikoshka caught next to the puck. He will end up dead. Snap by a cookie from Rue, gets him back onto the high ground, but the real end, baby, of this Naga Scion ensures that the Snapfire comes back low ground. Laurel looking for the Dark Willow, does find her through the Shadow Realm, as this puck hoping to kill off Beastmaster, just manages to do so. 1J gets credited with that kill, but it's Mirage that did all the work with this AD rune.
Yep, that is the difference maker. Liga overall wouldn't have had enough damage, especially not to kill the Beastmaster, the cores overall, but because the puck had the AD rune, it changed everything, right? But we have seen right now the power of Steam Spirit when they do have the MKB on the Luna, where you can actually commit onto the Wind Ranger. I think this Wind Ranger is going to start thinking about defensive items, and having the Aghanim Scepter, that's already one, but Lincoln Sphere could be the next one after he finishes his Daedalus.
Solid, like from Team Spirit, it feels like a hold. Yes, you lose some very important heroes, but take away the Aegis, you get the Underlord kill. It's also the first time in a big 5-on-5 engagement that Rue has been able to commit the full Mortimer's Kisses. So maybe this is actually part of their rationale of how you counter Naga Siren. You force Naga to have to Song to cancel a big spell. And we've seen so many fights where Panto, even though he has Song, he's seeing some core getting completely obliterated, is forced to hold on to it until he sees the Morty's Kisses.
Speaking about holding spells, Satanic has done so really well in this game. So every single time a fight starts, he's waiting, because he understands if he goes into a fight, bobs the BKB, there is a Song. Even if he's doing massive amounts of damage on all the enemies standing together, they're probably all getting healed back up to full. You're going to lose your BKB and die. So you need to wait for some of the key spells to be wasted of the enemies, and then you can walk in with your BKB when you have a chance to 100% commit onto a target with there not being a Song. If Liga are able to force out the BKB of the Luna early, Team Spirit don't have anything to do in a fight.
I mean, to buttress the point that you're making now, that's why he's buying Blink next. So you can sit further back in the engagement, wait for all those spells to be utilized, and then come in with the killer damage. His team now, though, they're smoked up. Laurel has his BKB. These fights have been somewhat lucrative for the Siny. They're trying to leverage this strength elsewhere on the map, but mid lane is being pushed out, ghost shot by the Puck and the Naga Illusions. Top lane's being pushed in by Naga Illusions. They're in the Tormentor. The smoke not really going to find anything.
Okay, you got the shard. That's nice, right? That's going to be making your BKBs even more important. Lucky for Laurel, he does have his 9-second one. But the Daedalus was also done. So this Wind Ranger now does back a bit more of a punch. So you don't necessarily need the AD rune on the puck to do massive amounts of damage between all of your heroes.
Did you just see what the Naga picked up, brother? Another fire available. This Omni is going to struggle, but Puck! just gets dived onto. Laurel making the jump, no hesitation from him. Satanic did pop the BKB for this one. They might be thinking about re-engaging. Gale Force thrown in by Violent here. The buyback from the puck is out. With the Whirlwind going, Malik is the priority target. He's going to TP out and make it. And so is Laurel. These BKBs providing value. The supports might not have the option. And now Luna, she used the BKB for the puck kill. She doesn't have any way out of this one right now. She's all alone here in the middle lane. Popping out the Eclipse. Yeah, there's a lot of damage floating out, but certainly not enough to hold on to these heroes. Windrun coming in to provide the invis. There's no way to catch out this Wind Ranger. She is going to get the kill. And Mirage also managing to hunt down Rue on the back edge of the fight. It's 3 heroes dead, and the Luna doesn't have buyback.
I'd like for this Luna to change her item choice. You need a refresher. Without the Luna BKB, they cannot fight. You can see how Team Spirits were panicking when the puck bought back. Like, we don't have a Luna BKB. Run, 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 run. And you don't manage to outrun them because the enemies have amazing catch. Puck, Naga, and the Wind Ranger. You're not getting away from that. So I am thinking he might need a refresher here. I'm not sure if the blink will be enough. But AD Rune, Liga, having a lot of luck with those. They had it 2 fights ago, and now they have it for the push. This is undoubtedly at least one lane or Rax, if not more.
Speaking of those BKBs, right, the Beastmaster and the Tiny had to pop BKBs just to escape the fight, so there's no chance that either of them will blink into you right now. So, free Rax. They aren't fully aware of whether or not Luna has BKB, and to be fair, or buyback, and she's very close to having it. So they play the safe play, just get the melee and get out. Still, they are in complete control of this game.
Yep. Now with that tide falling, of course it's the mid lane. It's hard to take the mid lane versus a Tiny, so you're happy that you've taken those Raxes, but overall versus a Luna lineup, they're not really going to be struggling shoving it out. So it's the hardest lane to take, but the least valuable one in terms of map control that it gives, especially ever since the map was extended.
We have Roche number 3 coming up on the dire side. This is huge because this one's going to give the Aghanim Scepter to the Puck. And Puck is already preparing for this, building into Mjolnir next to be able to get some massive right-click damage out. With a Mindbreaker, Parasma, Aghanim Scepter, yeah, this is shocking amounts of right-click damage coming out of a Fairy Dragon.
Yeah, Puck and the Wind Ranger with their AoE damage are gonna be insane, right? So you definitely want that Roche if you're Spirit, or at least send it to the dire side so that it has a refresher. Sorry, to the Radiant side.
They ended up leaving. They don't know that the Roshan is up in 15 seconds. They're hoping for a pick-off here. Wind Ranger, she came across middle. Puck, not close enough, unfortunately, to help initiate onto Satanic. But Team Spirit, they also caught that vision. Luna has the better night vision. She saw the Wind Ranger. They know that she's somewhere in the vicinity. They're gonna smoke up, trying to find her.
25 on the Luna, so this is huge. If you stand next to each other, you're just gonna murder 2 heroes.
Unfortunately, they don't get the right angle. They will at least go on to this Underlord. Underlord will eat some damage from the Morty's Kisses. Primal Roar was out as well, and he does die. Although the song potentially might set them up here. Several heroes caught inside this. They have the follow-up. They buy back on the Underlord. They won this fight. They will lose this Naga Siren fairly early on, but they got a bit of malice around the Luna. Luna forced to pop the BKB and the Eclipse. So the damage out onto Violence. Wind Ranger this time around does die. Puck doing his utmost in the middle of this engagement, has a lot of right-click damage, but so do they on the side of Team Spirit. Can they get Mirage out of here? Mirage able to at the very least assassinate the Snapfire, but the question is, does he survive? Destroys the Lucid Beam from the Luna, and now they've also picked off Laurel. This Luna cannot escape by herself, doesn't have a BKB, throwing in damage onto this Dark Willow, but 1J lives. That will not be the case for the Luna. She finally ends up dead. It's a full team wipe. And yet again, it's a very similar fight to the one we saw in this mid lane. They kill a core hero, that hero buys back, and Team Spirit has no response, having committed so many spells in the first round.
I think the main issue for Team Spirit is that this Omni Knight is underfarmed, right? Because he doesn't contribute anything to the fights, really. If you are able to save your BKB for later parts of the fight with Luna, it's different. But because you have to pop it so early, because your Omni Knight basically dies if you don't, then you don't get anything from the repel. You need longer debuff immunity on this Luna to be able to do enough in these fights, because it is a day and night difference. They went for the sleep, they caught her, like, we have them. but it is Liga who knew that they're gonna have to buy back after the BKBs have been expended. But after you do it, the buybacks are there. Luna without the BKB is just not a threat at all.
13k network lead right now for Liga, despite the buybacks they've committed in this game. And the puck just heads up, buys his own Aghanim Scepter. It's like, whatever, dude.
Yep, so, I mean, the road did travel.
Bro, they have 2 nullifiers. I don't think at this point, even if he gets more farm, Omni just can't have a game anymore. 2 nullifiers on Liga. What the hell is this?
You cannot dispel Repel, though. Repel can only be dispelled by the spells that go through Magic Immunity, like Demonic Purge and maybe Wild Axes of the Troll when he's level 25, you know, things like that. So Nullifier doesn't work.
Doesn't work on the Repel, but it does work on the GA, which I think is a bigger problem for me.
It does. It doesn't work on the GA if there is a Repel as well, though, right? That is the good thing. But overall, yeah, it's good to have multiple nullifiers because the fights can get chaotic. But this is a puck with an Aghanim Scepter, level 25, that has a Parasma and the Mindbreaker that you mentioned, plus now a Refresher, right? So good luck surviving that. If 2-3 heroes get caught, he will murder them.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Are scanning.
We did have a Lincoln Sphere from Violence getting destroyed on the Courier.
Big one.
And, alright, not this is, brother. This is the last game smoke. If this smoke fails, we call GG. There's no other option.
They have buyback on the Luna, so they might just have another one in them. This doesn't seem like the last hurrah smoke. Seems like a let's place some vision on the map so that we are not playing blindly kind of smoke.
Also smoke on Liga. I think their smoke has definitely more sinister intention here. Luna?
Panic.
Oh no. Might get scouted middle. She's still inside the smoke. Law makes the initial jump though onto Violence. Violence loses a startling amount of his HP, down to 30% already.
Oh my god, this Luna. The thing is, Luna would be murdering this game if he just had anybody who could stay and tank, who could be a little bit deep in the fight. But he can't, right? One Lucent Beam almost kills the Wind Ranger.
They smoke again. Team Spirit feeling buoyed by the success they saw, how easily the Wind Ranger could potentially go down. Hoping to find her, but now Liga, they're like, you know what, let's play super conservatively on our side of the map. We can be chilling, boys. There's no rush at the moment.
Waiting for the Wind Ranger Courier, right? This is the reason they're not coming forward. That Lincoln's Sphere really does help, even if it's only against the Lucent Beam. It's 70% of your HP that you're gonna be saving.
These double condos on the tiny end of Luna, certainly putting in a ton of damage. So, need to wait another 90 seconds before the Courier does respawn.
Oh, Underlord is level 25 as well. His route is insane, right? It lasts for 0.5 seconds longer. In these fights, when you lose your BKBs, where the enemies have all of their BKBs down to 6 seconds, apart from the Tiny who's at 7, but he's not really a factor, he just instantly dies. You are not gonna move. Double coil, bit of malice with a level 25 on both of those heroes. It's just an uphill battle for Team Spirit.
Team Spirit, I'm starting to have some worries about them and addiction because they've been smoking so much in this game. Relax, guys. Drink some water sometimes.
Like, I stopped smoking. How? I drank water. Snary told me. I like that we're increasing people's awareness here. We do like doing that. Liga now going for a smoke, and they have an Aegis for another 2 minutes. This is before they get their Lincoln Sphere back.
Wind Ranger's still carrying around her Pally Sword, so hasn't transitioned into a tier 4 item just yet. Puck,
Arcane Puck.
up on the high ground, finding Laurel, catching him with the Dream Coil. Repel will be there, but we're half HP for this Tiny. He's forced into a BKB situation. Luna, though, she got terrorized. Bedlam on top of her. She's surrounded and killed. Buyback is available. She might be forced into it because there's a 3-hero song. All of them in perfect position. They don't manage. Isn't available just yet, but they do have the Firestorm and the Whirlwind from Violet. They eviscerate Laurel. He does not have buyback. Luna has returned into the fray, but she's chasing around a Naga Siren.
It's over.
That is not the priority target for this fight. She is gonna die. This is a dieback potentially from Satanic. He pops at Satanic though, turning this fight around, but he's still inside of this Pit of Malice. He needs some help. He needs the Omni, he needs the Repel, but he's not gonna get it. He will end up dead. No buyback available. That was a dieback, and Meboshka has seen enough. GG, well played, is called. Game number 1 goes the way of Liga team. They demonstrate that they can hang with the best of them. They can defeat a TI winning Team Spirit roster. Out if he cannot lose, because we have the game back online. Everybody's connected. They're all rolling together. It would be fantastic if they could find the first blood for Laurel. You know, in the same way that we saw Abandon No One sometimes overcommitting just to make sure that no one would be the one to get that first blood and then have a really good game. Perhaps Team Spirit can copy those strats, give their Storm Spirit a better start.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, they do have the Mirana Arrow, Night Vision. Not impossible to go and get first blood, especially with the Tusk. Good shards into an arrow, into all of the follow-up damage that they have. Could secure the kill for him if they have enough guts to try and go for it.
Guts. Whenever I hear somebody talk about guts, I'm reminded of Claymore. Did you ever see Claymore, like the anime / manga?
Isn't like no, but isn't Guts from like Berserk?
Guts is from Berserk, yes. But in this particular one, there's demons that enjoy not. They don't even eat your whole body. They just want to eat your guts, and that's it. They'll leave you a bleeding mess on the floor.
Yeah, no, sorry. I just watched the ones where the main character wants to be the best and the strongest in the world, and it's not that brutal.
Speaking of good shonen manga, there's sad news, y'all. Jujutsu Kaisen is officially finished. Game is hot. What an era.
I didn't enjoy it all that much. Is it okay? So now it's over. I can watch it till the end, right? Or is it the manga that's finished?
The manga's
okay.
finished. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. This game not finished just yet. No Gojo in the game just yet. For now, we have a 3-rune bounty though that goes in favor of Team Spirit. That's a very nice start in their favor.
Yeah, okay. Laurel, we didn't give you a first blood, but we gave you an extra bounty, right? Or 2 bounty advantage over your mid lane counterpart. You're a Storm versus a melee hero. Come on, do that TI 2023 magic.
He was cooking last year at TI, so I need to see this man again. He's out here. Early lane has started up against his White Spirit. We'll check on them after a couple levels to see exactly how things are going. I would be astonished if any of them get solo killed here.
Yeah, we have been astonished a couple of times with Laurel getting solo killed, so I personally wouldn't, but okay. I'm losing my faith.
It's like being at a magic show, man. You gotta suspend your disbelief the entire time. No matter when you know the tricks are happening. So bottom. Now when trying to make a play out to L1ga, 0 points into the reactive armor just yet, but the Batrider has the magic of the Flame Break. Pushes both heroes back, and they cannot aggress onto the Timber anymore.
Yep, the Timber will be fine. So far, no kills. So far, the mid lane is going great for Spirit. The other 2 lanes, well, not so much. And I think this is the laning phase at the moment, as expected on all sides.
No big plays just yet. We're still aggressing and playing into each other, so no lane manipulation shenanigans. Top lane, see Panto just moving on to Rue, zoning back this Mirana. Just wants to send him back towards the tier 1 tower, force him to use his non-existent regen. Had to ferry in a salve on the courier.
Yep, he did bring it in. It was already coming, so he's gonna be okay. Arrows the creep in the jungle to get the lead because things are getting dangerous. Up top, you need to be able to escape. Oh, no Quelling Blade on the Centaur.
Okay. Into the Nature's Prophet lane, okay.
Well, sure, if he thinks he can sustain through it, but this is dangerous, right? Especially because the Omni Knight is doing a decent amount of damage to you.
Okay, so I looked at his courier. He has bought one. I think he wants enough gold to finish a second bracer before he brings it in.
Okay, sure. He's very low on HP. You can just see that it's gonna allow Liga to play very, very aggressively in this lane.
Oh, they just brought him and kill him right now. They have the damage to do it. Okay, Mirana bought a Quelling Blade as well. Alright. So they're gonna have 2 for the lane to try and deal with this Nature's Prophet.
Imagine you're this big horse man, whatever, with huge muscles, and then you need a girl to chop the woods for winter for you. That is a disgrace.
To make it worse, he is carrying a giant axe as well, so
Yeah.
should be able to get through it even faster.
Unreal. Yep. I guess, Princess, you're gonna have to roll up those sleeves.
You see this? You see? Oh,
Down
this is what
bottom,
I've always
let's see how this
wanted.
Luna is doing
It's
now.
so
Doing
happy.
decent in the CS department. They've gotten past the point where Timbersaw feels like he can actually be threatened, so L1ga is gonna have a pretty decent time in the lanes here.
Yeah, the Bat Rider likes to go stack. He might even stack for himself in this game and just try to farm as much as possible. The lane for the Timbersaw has already kind of been secured. Even though it's a Luna, it seems that the Tusk Luna no longer are a threat to his life.
Lane, Laurel! Almost getting the grab onto Mirage there. And they're gonna go and compete over this water rune. But Mirage, a little bit too weak for this one. And down bottom, we have a Tusk forcing 1J into picking up the water rune. So Mirage is gonna have to do the Laurel, go all the way back into the base in order to heal himself up.
I would love Laurel if you would write in the chat, get Laurel right now. As Malik in trouble. Gone.
Yeah, that's the first blood going the way of the side of Liga. He did bring in his secondary bracer with the quelling blade, but he didn't jow that healing cell, so no HP to survive through the onslaught of this damage.
A lot of these very tanky offlaners refuse to buy a salve because they're thinking it's gonna give me less than half of my HP, it's just not worth it. And well, then they pay the ultimate price.
Very nice start for Violent. He TP's home right now. Does have a point into the teleportation. Picks up some power treads. So in the next few minutes, he needs to start gearing up to make that move bottom at the same time, hopefully, as the Void Spirit does.
Void Spirit needs some time. Right, especially because he got put back to base. Level 6 is not necessarily your time to go. They want him. Oh, nice.
The ice shots though, Mikoshka a little bit impatient with throwing out the shots, and he gets the right angle on the dissimilate. Mirage will be A-okay, and they might play aggressively into the Luna as they know that the Tusk is not here to protect. Just softening her up with some napalms, but no real aggression just yet.
That was really nicely played by Mirage in the mid lane. You could see that one circle started shining, you know, that he's gonna appear in that one, and just at the last moment he switched it up. I think he was counting on the fact that Poshka is gonna be preemptively using the shards.
Still though, he is fairly behind in the CS department against the Storm Spirit. And Marana is throwing in an arrow, which, that could have been dangerous. If he didn't get the level 6, he literally got it like a few seconds beforehand. He wouldn't have had the Astral Step, wouldn't have been able to dodge that in this narrow angle of the river.
Yep, it is hard, and sometimes it's even hard to see in the river. That's so much damage. Miposhka surrounded by trees.
I'm not even gonna say why he survived. I refuse to say it.
Okay, don't do it.
Dire are scanning.
Drinking.
He survived because he's such a good player, which he has proven time and time again, so that's why.
Top lane. They bring in the Storm Spirit in, so Panto could find himself dead here. I hope he goes north. Don't try fight for the bounty or the Wisdom Rune. Let it go. No,
Fight.
Panto. No, brother.
Fight.
This is not what we wanted to see.
He has a repel, he can click faster.
Okay, he managed to get it fully off. The rune gets unfortunately taken away by Ru, and he will repel and just TP out to safety. Unfortunately, the Storm Spirit didn't have all the mana in the world, so he'll be able to.
Can't believe he didn't go for it early. He valued his life more than the rune. I guess he didn't really know that the storm was coming, so the only thing that he was afraid of was the arrow and that mini stun, and you just would have used it when he sees the animation of the Mirana.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Bottom lane, they're putting some pressure out here onto the tier 1 tower. And Nature's Prophet, this is what I want to see, baby. This is what I want to see from Violent. Gotta show up, put that pressure out, remove this tower from the game, but unfortunately, they didn't kill off any of these Radiant heroes before they made that move, so they're able to defend the lane.
Void Spirit sent his illusions towards the bottom, and Rune will be on top this time around.
Going on to Miposhka with all of these heroes. surrounding him right now. They popped the first stampede of the game. Drinking buddies as well, and he is fine. Very annoying, but they've now zoned them away from the tower. Violent does not want to leave until they secure the tier 1.
This is still not an easy tower to take, and next wave is coming. It's gonna take some time with the Mirana rotating. Spirit are preparing for a fight here. They have some TPs as well. It's gone.
Arrow only connects onto the flag bearer. Doesn't hit the timber, doesn't hit the tree in. Now will be the tier 1 tower. And it came just before the glyph came back. And now mid lane, they were hoping for a catch onto Mirage, but unfortunately for them, the ice shards don't connect. Even if they did, he had the dissimulate available, so he should have been able to get out to safety.
Also, Malik didn't manage to do too much damage to the top tower, so Liga, even though they were committing super hard for the bottom lane, they still managed to keep their top tower quite healthy. That's pretty important. 9 minutes, we have 1 kill here, Snare, and nobody's actively trying really to get many more.
This reminds me of a couple of years back when, I think like during Tour 2 of DPC, where there were so many Eastern European games that would just be just like this. Everyone just farming, hyper extended laning phases that basically lost 12 minutes or something.
There's one difference. It was always at minute 7 that they started killing each other. They had a truce, the one that they decided for 7 minutes, and then they would start murdering each other, and the 10 minutes you would have like 10 kills in a game. This is different. This is 10 minutes in and still nobody's dying.
Hey man, maybe the armistice agreements have extended in duration.
Sure. If they're trying to get more people out of the game, they are targeting the Timber Saw. You already know that Satanic loves using his Eclipse, but L1ga reads them like a book.
It was just observer ward, man, right in front of the outpost, scouting the TP. They knew exactly who was coming in. Very nicely done right now. Liga is playing this map quite well at the moment. They're getting their farm. Right now, the Void Spirits actually managed to overtake the Stone Spirit in net worth. Timber Saw is busy cleaning up stacks in the jungle with the Batrider. So it feels like it's all coming together right now for what they need to do with this draft. The question is, can they claim this tier 1 as the Stone Spirit zips in? They want to try and find Panto first and foremost, and the Omni Knight will die. With a very easy kill there, Mirage manages to get himself away onto the high ground. If they had actually had the ice shards and found him with the snowball, he didn't have his defensive spells. He actually would have died, but probably at this point, Miposhka is just over trying to kill this Void Spirit.
There wasn't a pull and there wasn't a hoof stomp, so maybe with a stampede, but it would have been close. His spells were coming back because he had an arcane rune, so I think that arcane rune is the reason that they decided it just wasn't worth the chase.
Dip back into the jungle now. Laurel finishing up the bros towards his Witchblade. Pretty much has it right now as soon as this camp finishes. We'll see if they decide to play more aggressively on the map, try to get something else off of this, or if they're still happy to keep farming. Right now, Team Spirit, outside of that move we just saw to defend the tower. In fact, outside of tower defenses, their inclination right now is just to play very passively.
They're running towards the Luna, but Satanic sees that there's nobody on the map, and he's gonna be aware that something is up. Diving him would be a bad move. Your lineup is just not that great.
Timber ends up showing, and Satanic coming forward here. He is maybe baiting for a rotation. He gets the stampede, gets the drinking buddies. He's still alive, but unfortunately the Aether Remnant, they catch him on the high ground. Now Alasu out onto Miposhka. Survives for a little while longer. Snowball buying him time, but that time will expire. Liga managed to get that kill, and Satanic, you casters cursed him, Harry. As you were saying, he's so smart for sticking back. He just pokes in a very dangerous position and gets blown the hell up.
I think he was aware that something was coming, but he just overestimated the ability of the drinking buddies and the stampede to save him.
Top lane, at the very least, kill one of the perpetrators of that assassination job down bottom. And this will lead into the first tier 1 tower for Team Spirit. They're gonna have to come back middle to mount a defense because Liga already bringing in several heroes to try and secure this tier 1 as well.
The main thing is this greater treant. You don't even need the siege creep wave. This creep just does an absurd amount of damage to the tower.
Here they come though, Team Spirit. Got the Stone Spirit nearby. Arrow would connect onto this Void Spirit, and there's heals though, as well as a massive whirling death Timber Chain combination from L1ga. It almost solo kills the Luna and the Storm Spirit. Luna will eventually end up dead as Malik has made his way towards this fight. But here is more damage coming in from the Timber Soul. They've managed to kill him off, and the chase isn't over just yet. They're looking towards Miposhka. They're not going to be able to find and kill him. But holy base, that Timber Sword damage, 2.6k damage at the 13-minute mark, just with a couple of spells.
That first Whirling Death, there were so many trees. I think he took down like 10 trees with them and connected on both the Storm and the Luna. One Whirling Death took away like 80% of the Storm's HP. That is bizarre how close they got to killing him. And with Luna being left super low, he could chase the Storm down as well. Just beautiful for Liga. But it was Team Spirit that made it a possibility. People tend to forget about just how much damage the Storm, the Timber will be doing.
L1ga showing off why they gave him the confidence to second pick this hero for him. Doing a decent job now, starting to pull in towards having a Pipe of Insight. And it's going to be a while before we have this massive physical damage output from the Luna. So this earlier portion, this Pipe of Insight pretty much takes away like 50% of everything that Team Spirit wants to do right now.
Maybe even more, right? Sure, I guess not. With the Solar Flare, you do have a decent amount of right clicks, but the thing is, the problem for Team Spirit currently isn't their damage, right? They have the damage to kill Liga. It is just how squishy they are. If you get caught, you will die, and that does change later on down the line, but you still need a lot of time for that to happen. And Laurel did go for the Orchid in this game. When you don't have anybody to refill your mana, this is a problem. He's just gonna have to rely on the Stampede and the Drinking Buddies bailing him out if he's too deep.
They're moving their way towards bottom side of the map. Timber Soul, he's getting out to safety, close to the tower. The vision barely catches him, but now that he's standing underneath the tier 1, I don't know about diving the Timber under those conditions. This Orchid reveal not gonna happen just yet. Some targets will show themselves towards middle. Wait for it. He actually jumps in with the Astral Step, and now there's the zip on top of him. Do they find the silence? He's getting dragged back in, but the Omni right there. He hasn't committed to Orchid just yet, though. He's still holding on to it for Laurel as they're putting pressure onto Malik. GA is out. Oh no, Lightyear revealed onto the Storm Spirit. He's using all of his mana just to get away from Liga. They're still chasing though onto the scent. Malik trying to run himself away. There will be a stomp though going back. Eclipse from the Luna. But this is only a Batrider. They're happy to commit his life for that one. Especially because L1ga coming back in, helping to get the assassination onto Malik. That being said though, here now comes the damage. It's Drinking Buddies. Luna, baby. Triple kill for Satanic. Finally the Orchid will come out from Laurel. They don't have the follow-up damage onto Mirage, however. So he is allowed to escape. And finally a fight goes the way of Team Spirit. A 3-for-2 exchange in the end. And they get to involve the Luna in some big pickups.
One thing I've noticed for Liga in this game is that they're greedy, right, when it comes to kills. And I think it does come down to it for them feeling that they are on a slight timer in this game. They had a Centaur to kill and they just let him go because they wanted more.
Centaur not going to be involved again. Hoof stomp out. This time there is follow-up to the Orchid. Why did Mirage stick around in this area? He had to have known it's still so dangerous.
I'm telling you, they're greedy. They feel like they're under pressure. I don't think that was necessarily the case when they were 3k gold ahead. If they just killed that Centaur and reset, would have been great. But because this is just when you don't have the exact read of where the game is at and you feel that it is slipping, and then you start making mistakes because you think you need to do more than your heroes are actually capable of. If Liga chilled, they still have a chance, but one or two more overextensions like this, Luna is gonna get too big, and this time around you do not have heroes to deal with her.
This was also at 15 minutes, the first game that we've seen all qualifiers where Satanic was not the net worth leader. But now he is. What can you do? For Liga, how far are we from having Ag? Okay, he has the Ags and Manta. Manta is still being queued up. They would like to reveal this somewhere. They do end up getting a nice little pick off onto Rune. They're just like, whatever. Quick kill.
Okay, so what's the play? Liga, they still have the... They should still have the same approach. shove in the waves with the Wrath of Nature, and then hunt. You do want the Blink Dagger on the Batrider, which was just now delivered, so they have everything they need.
This is the hunt that they wanted. They get
Nice.
access to this, the Resonant Pulse onto Storm Spirit. They silence him before he can silence the Void Spirit. He ends up dead. The Tusk cannot save him. They even popped the Stampede for that one, hoping for some kind of retreat, but it just does not happen.
It was popped a little bit too late though. And Storm, he there made a mistake. So what happened is that the Void Spirit used his second Resonant Pulse when the Snowball was already used, so he didn't have it. And then the Storm, if he had just zipped to the side that he was already facing to, he would have been able to dodge the damage and then go wherever he wants. But because of the turn rate, turning to the side to run away from the opponents, the Timber saw damage kicked in and killed him. That is some of the things that you have to be mindful, but when you get picked up in a Snowball, you're not really sure which way you're going to be facing when you come out.
He's queued up the BKB now. Still has the Witchblade in his inventory, but for now, it looks like the side of Liga are going to be interested in potentially paying the big man a visit. No, they just want the Tier 1 tower. Tier 1 tower first, and then they can start opening up the map for themselves. Team Spirit, they don't want to let them have it. They smoke up as well. It's a 5 or 4 hero smoke. Storm Spirit is nearby, but there's nobody around for them to connect onto, unfortunately.
Yeah, maybe they can steal the Tormentor, that's about the only thing, but standing in the enemy graveyard area for 30 seconds, you might just get buried, so better get out for now.
They'll get the free kill onto this Batrider potentially.
Will they?
Swift Stomp will be there, Arrow to follow this one up, and they should be able to get him. Still though, this is going to cost them a Tier 1 tower in the top lane, so definitely not worth it from their perspective.
If they do take the mid lane tower here, it's gonna be fine. And this is pro players again, greed, right? You took down a ward, you know that the enemies are somewhere in the vicinity, and you don't blink away immediately. The Batrider did have the blink there, and then he just decided, oh no, I'm gonna use my blink to dodge some of the enemy spells. No, you're not.
Okay, the jump in from Mirage here. They want to take this fight 4v5. He's already committed both Resonant Pulses, so he needs to be careful. I'm actually really surprised that they didn't consider re-engaging on top of him, but they didn't have full vision of the rest of the lineup. Especially not of this Timbersaw, who's still owning the game. So definitely not a risk worth taking.
You know that the Batrider was coming back in just a couple of seconds and you're close to the enemy tier 2, so it would have been dangerous to stick around. Team Spirit were aware of it. They are not going to be playing greedy this game because they are the ones that know late game does favor them.
Might find Storm. Lol is in a bit of no man's land right now. Does have several heroes coming in towards him. Does Batrider have the vision? Yes, he does, but he slips away at the perfect moment. Laurel, this time around the Stampede will be good enough to save him. Very good reactions coming from the Storm Spirit.
Yeah, the trees were being cut and it's daytime, so the Storm saw the Batrider at the same time that the Batrider saw the Storm, and then once the smoke broke and the Batrider was ready to jump, at that point the Storm was already mid-animation, but that was close.
If Laurel at that moment had been checking his inventory, looking at it, queuing his next item, searching across the map, he probably would have died there, but good reactions. Won't save the tower though. 2 Greater Treants plus Nature's Prophet. Tier 2 tower will fall as the Radiant lineup at least cleans up the Tormentor. Getting a shot from a Porshka.
Luna is not getting a BKB this game, and even though I do agree that it's not as bad as it was in the previous one, how are you gonna survive a Void Spirit and a Timbersaw if they commit on you, right? You're just gonna have to rely on the Snowball way too much. I mean, Satanic's positioning has generally been quite good, and he does have a Hurricane Pike, but you can very easily die if you're not careful. He's relying on his teammates quite a lot.
Brother, remember I told you what happens with carry players. He's gonna keep doing this until he dies horrendously, and then we'll see the BKB getting queued up.
He's died twice already in this game, Snare.
Yeah, those weren't horrendous deaths. Those are just regular deaths.
Okay. You're gonna have to give me the explanation of horrendous death, but they are going for a smoke. Both of the teams.
They miss each other like ships in the night, however, passing by each other directly. If they get lucky enough that they can find this Nature's Prophet, it would be great, but he's TPing in now to join the rest of his team. Yeah.
He's gonna be pushing with the Iron Nutrient.
Back on Team Spirit, Rue will break a smoke. He will get connected onto it with the Wrath of Nature. So now there's
More leaps.
information. Liga know where they're at. They have an AD rune on Mirage. He doesn't get caught with the initial spells. They managed to get the Stampede out though. Batrider dies very early on to the solar flare damage from this Marauder, but Batrider will buy back. Snowball saving the Centaur for now. They get back in on top of the Timber, so Rue's gonna get a double kill on top of this with the Mirage, Void Spirit, diving the back end of the fight, and they just kill Batrider again.
Nature's Prophet is back.
That is a dieback, and Nature's Prophet came back with no BKB available. This is just ultra greed from the side of Liga. They will end up with Rue grabbing a triple kill on this Marauder, and they want more. Mirage, there's no way out of this one. Trying to get onto the high ground. Astral Step has been committed. They can't close the full gap because they get distracted by the Omni Knight. They say, all right, Void Spirit, you can go on the high ground. We'll take out the Omni. Sure, Void Spirit will live, but that's 5 heroes dead, a dieback on the Batrider, a tier 2 tower taken, but more importantly, 1,300 gold going towards a Mirana who will be able to become a right-click threat in this game.
So what ended up happening there is that Liga got in. They initiated with the Batrider, and because of that initiation, they felt like they needed to commit for the fight. But they didn't really, because the Batrider died, sure, the lasso was used, but with the Solar Flare being used at that point, you need to bail. The right-click damage of the enemies is way too high, that even with the BKB, the Nature's Prophet cannot stand his ground. And this is kind of what we discussed in the draft. You are not winning a team fight versus Team Spirit, and I see so many teams there, and I don't know why I'm starting to get kind of frustrated. Playing the Nature's Prophet and going for team fights. Your lineup, split pushes, and pickoffs, and that never changes. At some point, when the enemies get items, you will be losing team fights. Best case scenario, poke in, get the Solar Flare out, reset, and then start hunting your opponents. That is how this lineup should work.
Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like they caught that particular memo. They lost a very important fight, and look at Team Spirit. They're heading through the Twin Gate right now. They want to be better positioned for when Roshan makes his trek towards the top side of the map.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Well, now it's nighttime. Now Team Spirit are gonna have an easier time in fights. Your Solar Flare is back in 4 seconds. You can very easily walk into the pit with the Luna having Crystallis.
They had an observer with that scouted L1ga moving around his own jungle, and they see him again. Nature's Prophet, don't go left, my friend. Stick to where you at. Smoke from Team Spirit. You find only this Batrider for now. Nice easy pick off onto 1J. And 1J doesn't have buyback. They're actually not done just yet. They get the grab onto Mirage. Do they have the damage to kill him before he gets out of here? They do not. He does manage to escape, but they bring down this Omni Knight in exchange. Mirage barely able to survive that one. Barrow now. It forces a BKB out of violence. So now he has to retreat even further. This tier 2 tower could be in jeopardy now all of a sudden.
Now look at where the wave is, right? That is the strength of the legal lineup. Now you lost 2 supports. There is no Solar Flare. Now is the time to smoke. The only problem is that arrow perfectly positioned coming out from Rue forced out the BKB on Violent, so he couldn't do much about it. But with the side waves being pushed this much, this is the time for Liga to utilize their position on the map.
They'll turn this instead of a tier 2 tower push into a Roshan grab. Still very far away with these Liga heroes. Crucially, they still have a minute out before they have BKB available on Nature's Prophet, so I don't think it's a wise idea to come fight this one. Gotta just let it go.
Yeah, Satanic also has an 8 Daedalus, right? There might not be a Solar Flare, but the amount of damage that the Luna does is absurd anyways, so you are better off just letting it go. So during this nighttime for the next 3 minutes, Team Spirit are gonna be taking down everything.
Okay, I'm telling you now, bro. If he doesn't die before he finishes Lincoln Sphere, he's not buying BKB this game. He's gonna buy Satanic afterwards.
Yeah.
Scout out. Oof. Alright, now they know exactly where all these heroes are at. Still have this Aegis with Daedalus. Look at this damage with the drinking buddies. We're 27 minutes in, and the boy is doing north of 350 damage. That seems fair and balanced. I see no problem here.
He does even more. It's 326 without the drinking buddies, right? So it's 400 damage per hit. Oh boy, that's a lot of damage on the Luna. And you
That's
don't.
before the crits.
You can't really hope to win versus him in a fight. You can't really hope to even burst him down at this point. Maybe in a lasso, but very unlikely. So you just have to split push, and we'll see how good they're gonna be at it.
This mid lane, they're going on top of 1J here, and 1J will end up dead. And remember, he bought back a while ago, so that buyback is
No
still on
glyph.
cooldown. No glyph
This is
either.
lane right.
Oh god, this is Luna inside your base with a Daedalus. She just picked up a Nemesis curse as well, so we certainly are going to be having these buildings suffering the wrath of the Moonrider. There's nothing they can do. It's already over. Lane of Rax just taken just like that. And Luna
He's going.
putting pressure on the tier 4 tower, trying to expose this Ancient
glyph?
at the moment. He will jump in onto the Luna, forced off away to keep him alive for now.
Unreal. Unreal. He didn't get the glyph, at least. Liga did manage to save that one, but this game is very close to being over. The win probability is always below 10%, so only in the single digits for Liga.
9 level difference, 9,000 gold difference. On the bright side, there aren't really any buybacks available on the side of Team Spirit, so you're not afraid of some of the plays that we've seen Liga make in the previous game. Die on a hero, buy back, and they immediately re-engage, but this is still a scary game. And now look at this, Storm Spirit zipping to the top side of the map. He finds 1J, the Bat Rider, dead again, still without buyback for another 100 seconds.
I think Liga should, and teams in general should stop picking the Batrider unless you have superior vision on your side. Especially when you're playing versus Luna lineups, you basically have 5 minutes where you can catch people and then 5 minutes where you can't do anything. Plus, if you're going full in on a split pushing lineup, you can't even team fight, so you cannot hope to just be great initiator in a fight where everything is already chaotic. So it's just impossible for him to play.
Another arrow, Stomp going in onto the Void Spirit. Arrow to follow up. Doesn't catch the Void Spirit, but it does catch the Omni Knight. So Omni will end up dead. No buyback available for him. What can they do here? It's going to be a 4 versus 5 defense. Well, make that 4 versus 6 with this Aegis in tow. Centaur hoping to jump in, doesn't find anybody, gets dragged back by the Aether Remnant, so he suffered some damage. Alberca gets on top of him as well. They do throw in the Stampede after the Gleipnir connected. But while all that was happening, Satanic was just taking away the tier 3 tower, has exposed the racks, and now securing a second lane. And now look at this, the jump in onto the Nature's Prophet. They kill off Violent, forcing him into a buyback, but will this buyback accomplish anything? They're fleeing right now for Team Spirit. His Gleipnir still is available, but where can he TP to? Gleipnir blinked away, disjointed by the Centaur. That being said, look where Satanic is at. Still has access to a Hurricane Pike, still has his Aegis, still has a Daedalus. So they can't really chase him onto this high ground.
Yeah, if you had walked up that high ground, the game would just be over at that point, though. To be frank, it is kind of over, right? Because what your lineup is good at is split pushing and pick off. When you lose 2 lanes of racks with a lineup like this, the only thing that is left is team fight. You cannot hope to win a team fight. I think if Team Spirit let go of their keyboards and just turn on auto attack, their heroes are still going to win.
Especially this Luna. She's 8,000 gold ahead of this Nature's Prophet. The buyback did not help. And the Satanic, 800 gold away. You know, I've been loving how sometimes when I watch Satanic, right, he plays the kind of carry that I'd like to play, you know. I'm not always good enough to pull it off, but I feel it, man. I'm attuned to this guy's style of play. It's so fun to watch.
Yep. He is very farm-oriented without the fear of joining fights, right? He always takes the most out of the map, not really leaving anything for his teammates, but he does pay it back by always being there, right? So it's very nice. And when he feels that he's strong, he pulls his team with him.
I feel like when I watch this guy, if you were to combine How and Burning from back in the day, Satanic would pop out on the other side. It's Big Smoke. 5 heroes from Team Spirit trying to find these Liga heroes who are hiding. Little do they know that they are very far away from where they're at. They'll just leave some behind some vision, set up for a future fight. Now the line has been drawn, they have awareness of what's happening. But at the same time, look at this mid wave. It's pushing in heavily. The tier 4 towers are very low and the ping was made. Satanic pings them out. He says, guys, we can just force them to have to return, putting these illusions in the base.
No glyph. I mean, you don't even have to force him to return, you can just end the game.
fusions, man.
Goodbye,
Holy
tier
base.
4s.
Tier 4 is almost dead. It requires the Void Spirit and the Timber Sword to stop that from happening, but both of them sitting at 170 HP.
And what do you do if you're Liga? I'm trying to click on their heroes, think about the items. I really liked when the Timbersaw got the Aghanim Scepter. I thought this could be game-changing. But other than that, I don't see anything that's gonna be coming out.
Brody, they just destroyed the Parasma. The Nature's Prophet committed to buy Parasma, but they destroyed his courier. Not gonna have it. And now they jump onto 1J. BKB activated by Laurel. 1J be the first on the tumble in this fight, as the Marana, she leapt in with the Solar Flare, putting in damage onto Nature's Prophet. Who's the carry now, bruv? Forcing him to have to retreat from this fight. In the air is the Timbersaw, but he's not going to be long for this world. Dragged into the rest of Team Spirit and killed off. And now Nature's Prophet thought he could escape. The Ice Shards prevent that from happening. He dies, no buyback available. Still doesn't have his Parasma on the dead courier. And the GGs are called. Liga team throw in the towel. Team Spirit demonstrate their ability. And we get blessed with the third and decisive game here in the Eastern European qualifiers between Spirit and Liga.
I thought you were gonna be pulling it like from the movie It.
Oh lol. You're getting some flashbacks. You're like, I don't want to deal with this.
Nope, definitely not. So I'm trying to think about Liga and how good they are in team fights, and I think they're in a good spot, right? So I would say that their chances of winning this game is like 40%, let's say, which is good when Team Spirit is your opponent.
Okay. Let's see how they can leverage that 40. It's an upgrade from what you said prior to the day start, and you gave them a 30% chance to win. So you've seen enough from them. We are giving them better consideration. But we'll see how this early lane start out. They've gotten some defensive vision for themselves, thanks to this Enchantress. And no offensive vision just yet, but perhaps they feel that they don't need it right now.
So how does Liga's lanes need to go? I still need to see, are they going to be sending the Snapfire to the safe lane? Snapfire doesn't do too well as a safe lane support though, so maybe you just take the punches of the Elder Titan. I guess that's gonna be the verdict. But mid lane, you're gonna be okay on the Tiny. That's gonna be slightly storm favored, but not too much. Morphling will farm on the top lane, and bottom lane you will probably lose. So Spirit should come out slightly ahead in lanes.
Well, here we go. Game is now underway. Team Spirit versus Liga. We have an even trade in terms of the bounties. Down bottom, Satanic just trying to put some pressure onto L1ga before the lane even starts. Force him to have to consume a ton of regen. And how was this fair and balanced, man?
I mean, it's very fair and balanced. You can decide not to walk into a Bristleback level 1. You know how much damage he can do. And you do it either way. So when you do something bad that should be punished, you get punished and you learn for next time.
Next time, it'll be fine.
Oh boy. What is the base armor of Primal Beast 4? Okay, they should be okay here.
Oh, dude, they killed his courier. That had the healing salve on it. Primal Beast only has a solitary tango left, so they need to try and make this aggressive play. Blood grenade down onto Miposhka, and we see Satanic was hoping to get the first blood onto 1J before Miposhka fell. He manages to at least get the counter kill, but L1ga, a lot of the advantage lost early on from having his courier destroyed, now instantly regained with this first blood.
Yeah, Miposhka not really understanding the strength of the enemies level 1, right? The Trample plus the Scatter Blast, 2 spells not to be underestimated, and he lost quite a lot of damage last time when his spirit expired. This time as well, right? You have a lot of armor, but once it expires, you are just this weak support that can easily get ran down.
Now taking a look at LoL and Mirage, their contest in this mid lane. It's relatively even for now, so not that interesting for the moment. Top. I saw earlier on that Panto did manage to destroy the courier away from Rue, but Rue got what he wanted out of that courier. He got himself access to a blood grenade, some additional branches. So they can potentially still play aggressively from Team Spirit in this top lane.
you want to. You probably won't be able to kill the Morphling, even though it can happen. But the idea is to always attack him as much as possible, so that he has to morph into strength as much as possible as well, right? Because Morphling last hitting with 70 damage is easy, but if you fall down to 50, 45, that's when things become hard, and that is how a Centaur can win this lane.
So far, the only one that's a little bit behind in the CS department is L1ga, but look at that first blood. They kill a courier again? Dude! What have I done to deserve this, y'all? What the hell, guys? Twice I lose my courier? That's the same salve that's just been chilling on that thing. And the completed magic wand, which won't be available now. In the meantime, though, Malik ends up dead. And now bottom, Miposhka getting trampled underneath the tier 1 tower. He will end up taking a tumble. L1ga looking for the TP out. Will get it. Madness happening all across this map.
Yep. A lot of heroes are dying. Overall, though, it is nice for Liga, right? Spirit are farming well in terms of CS, and the way that you equalize that in terms of gold is that you get a ton of kills.
We're just getting waveformed into by environment. I like how he knows for a fact. He clicks on her, he's like, well, at the time she's level 2. There's no way she had Starstorm, so I'm completely safe if I'm in her face and the arrow is down.
How is this mid lane going? Yeah, the Storm is coming out ahead. Twice in a row, Laurel is winning the mid lane. It's it's gonna be raining today, man.
Laurel. About to pick up a water rune now. Doesn't have any of his support heroes nearby to contest Mirage for this one, but does have Vortex, so might be able to stop this from happening. Toss will be there though, and unfortunately for him, he can't make this happen. He needs to be careful though. There's an Avalanche and a Fire Snap cookie, but thankfully Miposhka are right behind him to provide the bodyguard protection and ensure that Laurel gets back safely to the lane.
Guess who has the strongest punch, and when they do see him, they just get away. So very nice rotation from the supports, but did the Storm get any water runes? Not really. That's kind of a bummer, but he's still gonna be winning this lane.
Mirage playing as carefully as humanly possible. Still getting his CS though, for the most part, so it's not like Tiny's being completely outstripped. Still A-okay.
The thing is, probably during nighttime he's gonna have to go back to base unless one of his supports dies, and it's not a good thing to wish for.
When you click on 1J and you're like, brother, make a plan, dog, go dive. I need some mana.
Yeah, last game you didn't really do much on your Batrider. Tiny has been caught. Raj?
Has been. He's fine damage. He does have the magic 6 dodges though, and that puts him in a better stead. He finishes his soul ring as well.
Malik again.
Does die here. A little bit far away from where Ru is at, so they can't necessarily rely on any of these Mirana spells to help out.
How does this keep happening? I think he's underestimated the amount of damage that the enemies can do. Sure, you can say, oh, he pulled him with the Hurricane, but you shouldn't be that low that you can die from just one Hurricane getting into a bad position. Now they want Laurel.
Get him with the Hurricane back towards these heroes. Scatter Blast, Avalanche is there. Fire Snap Cookie puts in the work, but the arrow prevents the kill from happening. He's going to be fine with the Blood Grenade thrown in by Ru. They kill off the Enchantress. Miposhka showing up at the perfect time with that Echo Stomp.
Okay, so when Laurel was playing the Tiny and Mirage was playing a Puck, remember when Mirage got bursted down by the Tiny early on? That is because he didn't have a raindrop. Laurel is not going to be making the same mistake, right? He understands just how much damage the crash landing can do, and he just gets the raindrops. Because of that, he's still breathing.
Perfectly done by Laurel. Not getting lulled in this game, having a pretty good performance so far.
Yeah, looking solid. Him and the Tiny are still very close in terms of net worth, but at least he's close. At least he didn't lose.
Yeah. So now we are, what, 6.5 minutes into the game. Less of a truce than we had in the previous game, but still not that many bombastic actions happening. It's been primarily around like the 1 kill bottom, the mid lane skirmishes, and Malik getting constantly aggressed into as the Centaur.
Yeah, it's probably only Malik that's getting smacked down. Everybody else is kind of okay with the current state of affairs. Satanic a bit more than okay, but I guess it's a bristleback. You don't really slow him down. And of course, already some stacks are being made.
He's gonna farm these up, get closer towards having his Aghanim Scepter. Liga, they definitely do not want to be playing into a bristle if he gets to the Ag's Bloodstone timing. So as soon as they feel more confident, they need to try and make things happen on the map. You have a Tiny, you have a Primal Beast. These are not heroes that want to just sit back farming passively into the mid game.
Yeah, you want to punish a little bit while he's farming. The problem is that the bristleback always farms by being on the lane, and you have very low chances of killing him. He even has a healing Lotus, so that makes this hero hard to pressure. And if you focus a lot on the top lane or in the mid lane, it's very easy to read, as the bottom lane will always be pushed out. So not easy for Liga, no way.
Liga were making a move through the river right now, potentially thinking about either diving someone, securing the rune. This Observer Ward does scout them, so I think L1ga will just be forced into having to go and farm in the Ancients. Laurel coming in, they force 1J to take it, deny Tiny access to the Arcane Rune, but now here they come. Trample,
Beautiful.
Oh no, doesn't arrive because the Onslaught pushes Miposhka to the high ground. Fire Snap Cookie will be there, and the Trample does come out, but they hold him back with the Vortex and the slows from the Storm Spirit. L1ga will not find the jump that he needed. Such bad luck. If that doesn't happen with the Onslaught, they kill Miposhka without too much difficulty.
It's not much bad luck. Miposhka knew that was gonna happen. Okay, he gets spurs. He didn't know this was gonna happen.
It's on the high ground now. Once he starts to go lower, the Scatter Blast rather, brings him down very easily. He missed the Echo Stomp, unfortunately, and the arrow from Root didn't connect onto the Primal. But nonetheless, I still think the Blast should have killed him.
So, when you're playing versus the Pango or the Primal Beast, you know generally how much they can push you. If you're right next to the edge and he goes towards you head on, you are getting on the high ground. So Miposhka just knew what needed to be done. You could see that there was no panic. He just stood next to a cliff and he waited to get shoved back into a safe position. Unfortunately, later on, he still decided to die.
He's like, I got this. It'll be easy, right? Oh, wait. They're still kind of strong. Not bad.
Bristleback almost has his ads, right? Less than 1,000 away from him. So they have to slow
They're
down.
coming to kill him. He needs to be brought down. This hero is really tanky and he's still alive. And Storm Spirit Laurel has shown up for this one as well. They drag back in L1ga. He'll be the first one to die in this fight. But amazing toss from the Tiny, dishing out tons of damage with the crash landing. But Miposhka, an even better sleep, stalling the approach. Scatter Blast. Will it be able to connect onto the Bristleback? Fire Snap Cookie connects and the Scatter Blast is there. They have killed off Satanic and now toss forward from this Tiny, hoping they can get onto Miposhka. But no more spells available for the Snapfire. They will take what they have. 2 kills picked up. Does cost L1ga's life, but with the tier 1 tower in exchange as well, you certainly feel like a winner on the side of Liga.
They fight so well on Liga, right? The way that they're approaching that fight, the way that they're bringing the right heroes at the right time. You know, you think that you're out with that Bristleback, and then suddenly a wild Snapfire appears from an angle that you really weren't expecting. I mean, you were, because she was going over vision, but you have nowhere else to go. Every single line of escape has been prevented for you, so Titanic does get taken out. Maybe he should have left that bottom lane a little bit earlier, but he just didn't feel like they could take him out. It's a perfect moment for Liga. That was pretty much the last one where you could kill the Bristleback. If he had the Aghanim Scepter there, all of your heroes die, so doing a good job delaying it.
Great move there. Them claiming the tier 1 tower and not vacating the area. They still want to play around here. Ensure that there's no free space for Team Spirit to exploit down bottom. They might decide to dive Miposhka here. We do have the Onslaught from L1ga. He's thinking about triggering it. They don't find a clean angle though. It's underneath the tier 2 tower, so he should probably be safe for now.
And Miposhka is okay. The part that he's not okay with is that he's so under-leveled. I mean, no, starting to question, did they steal his Wisdom Rune? No, they didn't. So he just hasn't been a part of the lane much. He just wanted to allow the Bristleback to have everything.
Bristleback, while he's trying to get everything, it's going to be Malik, who is hashtag creating space on the other side of the map. He gets killed off. They did commit the Morty's kisses for that one, but they don't really care. It's like, whatever. Killing a Centaur at this stage, preventing him from getting his Pipe of Insight, certainly more important.
I'm liking that we have all of these new chat wheels, but I want the classic space created to be spammed out. It's just something that has brought so much fun to friend groups. Every single time you die, you just put space created, and then everything is forgiven.
That's one of those where actually what we need is like a space created referee, right? Must go consult VAR, look at the replay, and then only come back. Okay, approved. This is actually space created. You're not just feeding.
No, then it loses all point because obviously I'm feeding, but nobody has to know.
Blade Mill picked up now by L1ga, who's clearing out some ancients in his side of the map. I wouldn't be surprised once they have Morty's Kisses again, if him and the Snapfire decide to go on a bit of an adventure, see if they can catch out any of these spirit heroes.
We'll see if they can. If they can do it. Liga wants to open up the map a little bit more. Sure, they're gonna be getting the blink on the Tiny, but generally you want the mid lane tower to fall so that that blink can be at its full potential. So I guess the first smoke is gonna have to be used to try and get a pick off around the mid lane. The thing is, usually when you do it at that time where a blink dagger should be coming out, and that is 13-14 minutes, Spirit will be ready for you. They are gonna be aware that that kind of a rotation is coming.
We're about to pick up the blink. It's finishing right now on the Tiny. There it is. So then the question becomes, who's carrying the smoke? Who wants to go on this adventure? It's actually pretty decent. They got Enchantress picking up the Pavis as well. So they can have some ways to protect the Tiny a little bit if they want to make a move here. And,
Double Pavis.
Yeah, double Pavis, Blink Dagger. Bro, it's time to go. Let's make something happen.
Yep. Him and the Snapfire can get a kill. Storm is probably the hardest target. Anybody else should die.
Storm, of course, picks up a regen rune. While he's there, they caught a sliver of vision of him, but not long enough to make a full jump. They're moving in towards the high ground here, but yeah, this is taking too long. They don't have any vision, so they don't know where any area of their targets are. Rue does reveal himself, breaks the smokes though, breaks himself away. They do try jump the Storm, but he zips out of it. Laurel outplaying them, and now they're turning their attention back onto Mirage. He's been caught in right now. There is no way out for the Tiny. And that is not the Blink Dagger reveal you were hoping for. Liga lose their mid laner and their tier 1 off the basis of that smoke.
Oh, and that tier 1 is the biggest problem, right? Because now you do not have anything to fall back on, and getting the enemy mid tower down, it is a problem. Now the Storm with the regen, he's going for more, and he got L1ga.
Find L1ga. This is a big deal. This is a problem. ET Splitter is there as well. They kill off this Primal Beast, steal some of his ancients.
Your timings are in the dumpster if you're Liga. We still know that they can fight quite well, and they're trying to catch their opponents off guard now.
They're not done just yet.
Not again.
No, jumping in onto Mirage. This is the worst possible target. Arrow from Rue connects. It's the full duration. Mirage is dead. He just respawned, and they're not done just yet. The Satanic Stampede running forward onto the Snapfire, able to claim himself a double kill by just soloing the supports while his team was dealing with the Tiny.
Things are looking rough for Liga right now, because it's not only about the 2-3k gold lead. That's not the big deal. The big deal is that your lineup does need good vision and some early towers to be taken so that it can work out. So Violent, we're going to be looking at him. He needs to come over, as his team cannot do it without him. And maybe he's just put himself in trouble.
Waveforms through the arrow, so he's going to be fine. He'll be aight for now. Another big problem that I perceive with what's happening with Liga. Bro, look at their experience. Yet again, a level 9 Tiny. Their Enchantress is level 7, 16 minutes into the game.
Why is Mirage level 9? I guess when you are putting all of your emphasis into getting that Blink Dagger and then suddenly you die twice in a row, that's the that's gonna be the result. He was 1-0 before that engagement, and when he was at his strongest, he just didn't deliver.
Well, gonna have to work out how to still become a scaling hero for his team. As we did get a Blink Dagger right now for the Centaur, so he has his blink as well. Opted not to go for the super early pipe of insight. Does still have blade mail, which is super useful against Tiny and the Snapfire, so he certainly does have damage output. And speaking of Tiny, what? How did this happen? Did Rue just catch him raw with an arrow? Oh my god, it looks that way. Oh no, that's not supposed to be happening. They have the vision here. They have an observer ward. They should have seen this one coming.
Morphling needs to run. Yeah, he's all alone, isolated. Goodbye.
Echo Swamp holding him in position. He dropped the splitter as well. Panto will do his best, but there's absolutely nothing that can be done. And in fact, right now, he almost gets killed off himself. Oh boy.
You have no play, because they understand that they don't have damage at the moment, right? That is what they're lacking. Malik did go for a Blink Dagger, but once the Centaur has a full-on pipe, nobody on the side of Spirit is going to die. And even now, once you don't have it, everybody on the side of Spirit is kind of hard to kill.
You know who's not hard to kill? Brother 1J, as he is going to get easily brought down. Malik actually found a secondary hoof stomp because Panto thought he was helping, came closer, but instead just got stunned. Primal Beast Berka going in onto the storm. Can they find him? No, they cannot. Not enough damage with the trample, even after the pulverize. And he will end up dead. So that is 2 heroes brought down. Now all of a sudden Satanic has decided to join this fight, so they could start pressuring onto this tier 2 tower middle.
Spirit understand how stronger they are, and this is why they're diving like madmen. At the moment, League are helpless.
Oh boy. You know, you were mentioning earlier on in the laning phase when they managed to kill this Bristle, and you were like, they had pretty much the last moment they could actually bring him down because he was about to have Aghanim Scepter. Now what do they do? Because he has Aghanim Scepter, Bloodstone, and the Aghanim Shard.
Okay, so you've gotten to this point, which is really bad, where your mid laner doesn't do any damage and your off laner is so-and-so. So you have to rely on what these guys can deliver, and that is repositioning your enemies. So it has to be outplaying Team Spirit. Them going for the straight up fight, this is an all-in play. I don't necessarily like this. If you rely on Mortimer Kisses, maybe, but it's not going to be that great.
Don't even have their full team here. Woody's Kisses with the Avalanche goes out. It actually does a whole lot of damage. 3 heroes have already fallen. The Aegis, though, gets taken down by Team Spirit. It gets grabbed by Laurel. It is now 3 versus 5. Dude, where was L1ga for this fight? Where were you at, brother? If L1ga was here, they probably would have gotten a team wipe.
It was a little bit late, right? Probably, I mean, I can understand the disconnect in the side of Liga. And you know what the problem is? That you just found yourself a perfect fight and you kind of didn't get anything from it, right? Because these 3 heroes are not that important for the current state of the game. For Team Spirit, you're not going to be getting any towers. They still got the Roche, they still got the Aegis, and just got out with 2 of their main heroes.
The big part about it is that they got the Roche and the Aegis, right? So they're fine. Storm Spirit sitting with the Aegis, best carrier in the game. Bristleback, still just out here doing his thing. Didn't really get threatened out of that situation. And like you said, not only did they not get anything from the Roshan, they couldn't even pressure the top lane. We still have a tier 1 fully healthy. The waves are still pushing in against Liga. Very problematic.
There's one good thing, right? You are delaying the game. In a position when you're losing quite a lot, delaying the game is big, and you do have a Morphling. Morphling should be the top dog in this game later on. And as we mentioned, the skill ceiling of Liga's heroes is still high. So even though their Tiny is under farm, their Primal Beast now has quite a solid amount. They always have these spells that can impact the entirety of the fight, right? Especially the tossback. So Liga are by no means out of it just yet. If that was a clean Roche of Team Spirit and a clean fight, the game would probably already be over. But because they won it and because this Morphling is getting close to the Bristleback, you still have something to fall back on, and his Butterfly will be coming out soon.
Not that far away from it on this wall. Tier 2 tower though being sieged by Team Spirit in the top lane, and there's no real counterplay option right now for Liga. So we'll just have to let this one go. The map is shrinking further and further. It looks like they want to try and de-push down to the bottom lane as well, because Satanic TP's here. I imagine if they could get this tier 1 tower during the duration of this Aegis, it would feel really good for them.
See if they can do it, though. They have vision on the top lane, Spirit, so I would assume that that's the part of the map they want to fight in.
They're zipping in onto 1J here. Arrow will be able to dodge that. But there's no way for him to get out of this one.
Dire's middle tower.
Okay, Laurel yet with another kill in this game. 2-0 and 7, not bad.
Yep. You just want those galvanized stacks. He hasn't died a single time in the game. Things are looking good. Oh, they're jumping the morph? Okay, no. You don't have the mana to do it.
I also saw that angle and I was worried for a second. Then you see Laurel completely out. So it's like, okay, I'm fine.
Yep.
Full gate through and just keep farming. That'll actually complete his butterfly on the small fling. He has it available now practically.
So top tier 2 is gone. The mid tier 2 is low-ish.
Oh, Satanic. He gets himself in with the stampede. They put the damage out and they come through the twin gate. They just kill them all. Oh no, L1ga pops his BKB. This item just arrived for him, but it's immediately useless. Brody, they killed the Morphling. He was 5 gold away from the Talisman of Evasion. Now he will not have it. Butterfly delayed by another 400 gold.
Radiant's middle tower is under
I can understand them feeling like they should have enough damage and that they have a little bit more of a chance of fighting that one because the Primal Beast has the BKB. But until you get the break, until you have an Aghanim Scepter on this Primal Beast or a Silver Edge on Tiny Hut or the Morphling, Bristleback is off limits. Remember yesterday that we were casting a game where people are just constantly trying to kill the Bristleback? Just why is nobody saying he's off limits no matter the positioning, no matter anything? I know in Dota positioning is everything, but timings are also big, and the timing of this Bristleback is currently like that you have no chance.
It's one of those games you could honestly get away with not buying the BKB, but Satanic wants to win. Wants to leave absolutely no doubt about the prospects of their victory in Liga. They're still scrambling like, okay, we finally get back to the butterfly money for Violent. They're gonna smoke up off the back of this. Unfortunately, there was an observer ward that saw the courier ferrying in the smoke. So Team Spirit should be ready for this. And look, Malik jumping in, but no, it's gonna be Mirage that makes the initial jump. He finds the avalanche, but unfortunately for him, look at Laurel! Came right in on the back lines, get the vortex out onto him. They kill the Morphling, no buyback available. Mirage will be next on the chopping block as he gets right-clicked down by the Storm. And Zed Storm able to zip forward again, looking for another vortex. He's carrying in Aegis. It's about to expire.
Beautiful.
It does, but he zips back, regains some mana, regains some HP, now re-engages the fight. Able to kill off the Primal Beast. It turns into a team wipe. Lol with the heroics for this team fight, ensuring that not a single member of Team Spirit died in that engagement.
And even got given a great healing Lotus by Malik in that at the end of the fight there. Just beautiful overall from Team Spirit. But Laurel, he sees that the egg is expiring. He's counting the seconds, and just before they kill him, he zips to the side, gets half of his HP, even more of his mana back, and then goes for even more kills. That was just perfect utilization of the Aegis coming out from Team Spirit, and then of course Laurel to be credited with it the most.
Turns out you give this guy a decent lane, he's still a guy that won TI, you know? No scrubs have ever won TI.
I love that he went for the Eternal Shroud. I've been seeing a lot of Storms not wanting to go for it. Before it got nerfed, it was way too strong, and then it gets nerfed, nobody picks it up. But Storm Spirit, the way that he relies for mana, this is a perfect item for him, especially when he's playing versus so much magic damage. And I've seen a couple of games where this item would have been perfect and nobody wanted to pick him up. Laurel, do you know he's still a TI winner. He knows what's up.
Chilling right now at 21 galvanized stacks in this game. 6-0 and 9 on the performance. Flawless, in fact, on the Storm Spirit.
Exactly. Not a no mistakes being made by Laurel. Positioning wise, spell usage wise, mechanically, everything is on point.
Morphling, it's my point in danger. Echo Stomp is there. They're bringing in Satanic. Satanic turns his back, gets the damage out with the Aghanim Scepter. The ET Splitter sets him up. And he just cannot escape from this. No buyback for this Morphling. This could be just a straight up lane of frags. Mid, they surrounded the Snapfire. They collect some free interest, you know. Sometimes you land on Community Shield and Monopoly. You know, you get the free money from the bank. That's what 1J is for them right now.
Everybody feels like free money.
Not done. It's forward. They find Panto. Panto just dies. Untouchable for what? cares about your untouchable skill. And I think this is the game here, Freak. I don't really see a realistic prospect of Liga coming back, and they agree. They look at the situation, they recognize that they are beaten, they call it GG, well played. Liga eliminated from the Dream League qualifiers, and Team Spirit give themselves the second life, the second chance. They will be going up against VP, hopefully to gain a slot at